Hey guys, so today I thought I would do a video on the temperature inside my RV. So how cold is it in my RV? I'm out here in western Pennsylvania. It's February 19th. I don't know how well you can see this on the camera, but it's an old Sharper Image. Looks like calendar, time, and temperature little device here. And I've only been outside here for a minute. It is 28 degrees outside today. It's not going to get any warmer, and it's going down, I think, to 21 tomorrow. So I thought it would be a good day to actually see how well my RV's heater can perform in these kind of cold temperatures. Normally, I wouldn't have my RV out in the wintertime. This year is a little bit of an exception. I actually have the RV stored outside. Didn't even put a tarp on it. Had no idea we were going to get snow all winter. But unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, since about mid-December, we've had a snowstorm probably at least once a week or every other week. And the ground has mostly been white, as you can see. This little pile here, I don't know, it's a good 3.5, 4 foot pile of snow that I piled up. But there's probably a good, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches of snow on the ground. And this is just, I don't know, after the last snowfall. And like I said, it seems to be snowing every week. But I have two different ways to take the temperature. One is this Sharper Image. One is this Harbor Freight Centec. It's one of them infrared. It shines a beam. We're going to go out to the RV and we're going to put this temperature checker out there, and we're going to see what the baseline is. I suspect that the RV would be really no warmer than what it is outside, maybe a few degrees. But what I'm going to do is just see if we can...
It's 12:38 p.m. The temperature is 61 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, so when you hit that button there, it talks and it tells you the temperature. I hit it by accident, but what I was going to... Whoop, just dropped it. Hopefully I didn't break it. Hopefully I didn't break it. But anyway, I was going to take this one and just shine it on some wood to see what temperature it says. And it says 35. So the ambient air temperature is 28. That temperature on the woods showed 35. I'm just going to try this as well, just to see if it's any different. The metal, 29. Okay, so you can kind of see when I shined it on one of these aluminum covered beams. Of course, a helicopter would be coming by, right? But anyway, so this Sharper Image did survive the fall, so we're going to take a walk over to the RV and we're going to go ahead and just set this inside the RV. Hopefully you can just see how much, I don't know how well that's going to show up on the camera, but you can see it's definitely a good 8 inches of snow where I just put my foot down there. So we're going to come over, have the RV stored here on the side of my garage, and I do have the 110 volt in there to keep the batteries topped off. That goes into my garage and it's charging up, so it keeps the batteries nice and fresh. Okay. The unfortunate thing about this particular Sharper Image device is it takes a while for the real temperature to set in. So it may take a few minutes. I am going to have to go around to the other side and actually turn the propane on. But so inside the RV, see if I can get some of these lights turned on. Oh, it's not, for some reason, this one didn't come on. Maybe it's burned out, I don't know, or maybe it works off of a switch, which is quite possible. Okay, so It's not too bright in here because some of the blinds are closed and really don't use this thing in the winter. So we'll let this set here. You can see it's dropping. It was just 56, 55. I'm actually going to also see if I can take this measurement here off of some things and see what it says. So 28. Okay. So it's actually went down a little bit. So you can definitely see, and I'll just shine it off, I don't know, another object here just to make sure. Yeah. So it's definitely 27. I'll go off the faucet metal thing here, see if it makes any difference. I can't read it. Let me see here. I think that says 30. So I would say it's legit 28 degrees inside here. And we're going to go over here. This is where the thermostat is. So it controls, I think, the heater and the air conditioner. Maybe just the heater, I'm not sure. Haven't really used it, so don't really know. I'm trying to see if it kind of does have a... I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I doubt you're going to be able to see that on the camera, but there actually is a little temperature red, I guess it's a red dial in there that does look like it's a little bit above 20, between 20 and 30 degrees. Or I could be reading that wrong, which I probably am because I think it says Celsius up top. So forget I said that. It looks like it's actually set at 72 or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to use it. Never really used it either. So, all right. So, whew. What I'm going to do is go ahead and, like I said, I want to get this down to whatever the temperature is. So I'm going to go outside and turn the propane on. And then I'm going to probably figure out how to operate that thermostat over there. Guess it can't be that too complicated. All right, everybody. I am back. And it is still dropping in temperature. But I'm not going to wait any longer because A, I don't have enough time, and B, it's cold. So, just to show you, I didn't do anything other than come back out. We're going to see if we can hit the temperature there. Actually, that says 35. We'll hit something we hit before. Okay, this cabinet. Interesting. Huh. Okay, well, perhaps it did warm up in here a little bit. Yeah, everything's showing around 35, which kind of matches, 38. But nonetheless, I don't know why it warmed up in here a little bit from 28 to 35. I don't even have the heat on or anything, so who knows? But I do know it's 20-some degrees outside and it's cold. So I turned the propane on outside and I think I figured this out. This here's the on-off switch, and this really is just I think how hot do you want it to get. So we're going to put it all the way up. I don't know where it'll turn, how hot it'll get in here, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. This is a hard switch to turn, so I'm going to just kind of like... Okay. Now, I heard the fan kick on, and I know you can't see it, but it's too dark. But there's down by my foot there is the fan. I suppose what's supposed to happen is the ignition probably is supposed to kick on. I did hear something click. It's still cold air coming out of there. I've never used the heater in here, the propane heater, so don't really know if it's going to work or not, but I guess I should check, make sure this thing turns on. So let's just turn one of these on, see if we have propane coming to it. Again, I think I ever used this, so it says light. Okay, so here's the cool news. We have propane because we're getting the stove on, which is propane. Now let's see if this come on yet. Oh yeah, it's actually starting to feel warmer out of here. It's not warm by any means, but it feels warmer than cold air, so I'm assuming it's working. Whew. Here's my breath. I don't know if you can see that. There's plenty cold in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and shut this off. Make sure I have it off and I don't blow up the RV because I have gas that's not on. Okay, so whew. Wow, is it cold in here. So I also don't know if that's the only outlet or not. What's this here? Maybe this is another one. Oh yeah, here's another one. Okay. It does not feel warm to me, that one. I think this is where air comes in. I definitely smell like... Yeah, okay, now she's getting warm, so you can't see anything over here. But that particular outlet there by my foot is throwing out some pretty warm air. So I imagine it's just got the whole unit has to warm up. Let me see here. Yeah, it's starting to throw out warm air now. Okay, so I don't fully know where all the outlets are for the heater. It might just be those two, and maybe there's... I'll have to look around. This here's the air conditioner, so this is not one of those units that have heat and air. This is just, to my knowledge, this is just it's just cool air. Yeah, because it says high cool, low fan. There's nothing about heat in it. So just trying to look back here in the bedroom area. Should have a vent back here. It's probably the coldest area in the wintertime, I would imagine. I don't know. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Now that this is running, I'm gonna come check back. I don't know. It's not super hot, to be honest with you. Temperature hasn't changed much. It's still 38. So I'll come back in like maybe a half an hour. It's what, 1:30 now. I'll come back at 2 o'clock and we'll see if it's gone up at all. I believe I have that set so it should stay on, so the furnace should stay on. But again, this whole thing was really to see what temperature this furnace would keep this RV in the wintertime. You know, in the event that I ever had to use it when it was really cold, or if I want to do some cold winter camping. So I can tell you 38 would be way too cold for me. But if it was somehow able to get it in the 60s, I think that actually wouldn't be bad, especially if you had a jacket on and a sleeping bag, or some covers in the back there. 60 would not be too bad. So we'll see where this goes. Again, check back in half an hour. Yeah, I just wanted to check the gas gauge as well, see how much fuel this thing uses. All right, hopefully we can see it. I don't know if you can get a good copy of that there, but the gauge says, looks like 3/4. I also installed one of those emergency auxiliary propane, so I could connect this to a 20-pound tank if I was in an emergency situation and I couldn't get this main tank refueled. So we'll keep our eye on that as well here and see how much that goes down in the time that we need to run this for. Okay, we're gonna go in a minute and check and see what the temperature is. I did bring my handy dandy carbon monoxide tester. The RV has one, but we're just gonna check anyway. I'm also gonna check, this is the output of the furnace. I'm just gonna put the meter here just to see. You can clearly see right there. It's at 36, 37, 46. Okay, obviously that would pick something up because that's the exhaust from the RV furnace. But I was just wanting to bring it on the inside and see if we pick anything up. Actually feels kind of nice in here. Feels very, I can feel it's definitely warmer. Very comfortable. So, wow, and it's only 52 in here. But I will tell you, when I opened that door up from the cab, it actually, you can feel the difference of how much warmer it was. So here's the time. It's 2:13. I just wanted to show you as well. We're running zero. Oh, interesting. Have a little bit of carbon monoxide detection in here. It's very low. Still may need to clear from before, but it's interesting. Yeah, we'll let this just settle because it was out there. You can see it's back at 0. So it was probably just had to clear from me sticking it in right in the path of the exhaust there. But we'll keep it on here and just see if it jumps up again. This RV down here does have a detector, but we're pulling 0, and we're just going to put it in front of. This is the main outlet. Nice warm air coming out of there now, but I have it right in front of the vent, and it's 0. Had me worried there for a second. Here's the other vent. Nice. You know, the thing about this vent here is the air is not coming out that fast out of here. Would be nice if it came out a little faster, because this is where the door's at, and probably a lot of cold air comes up through there. But so I have it in front of that vent as well, and it's 0, which is really good. It's a good thing. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of leave this here. I did get, it doesn't want to stay. Smoke detector every year, it seems, and you're supposed to replace these batteries anyway. But when it gets cool out, I noticed that the battery seems to go dead in this smoke detector. I'm gonna put this battery in it. Took this out of one of the smoke detectors that I had. It's a lithium battery. Just was curious about something, testing. See how long, I don't even know how long that will last, but I was just curious to see what it would do. We're just gonna give us a quick test, so it might get real loud for a second. Okay, so this is working. For now, I'm just gonna put it back up in its holder. I think I am. Okay. Maybe I'll have to mess with this a little later. I'm starting to think that this goes underneath this. Like that. There you go. So now we'll put it back up here. There we go. Okay. So, 53 in here. Again, the time is 2:16. I'm not exactly sure when I was last out here. We'd have to look at the video mark. I think it's been less than an hour. But I will say, we'll just put this one off just to see if our temperature is right. So yeah, we're almost right on. Just go up here, take a temperature. 55, hit off a piece of metal. 56. So come over here. I'm actually pulling 60 off here. Curious. 55. I was curious to see if the front of the RV was warmer than the back, but it's not. That would tell me if there was another vent up here. I really haven't looked to see if there is a vent. I don't think there is one up there, but yeah, I said earlier, it would be interesting to see what temperature I would feel comfortable at, but it is 53 in here according to this, and according to this one here, maybe 54, 55 in some spots. And it has definitely taken the chill out of this RV. And if I had a sweater on and some sweatpants and some wool socks, I'd feel absolutely comfortable in here with the way it is right now. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to go up. We'll leave it run for maybe another hour just to see what we can get it up to. But yeah, not bad. I'll see if we can come out here. Yeah, this thing is way off in here. Again, you can't barely see it, but there's a little red gauge inside there. Now it says 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And there's no way it's 80 degrees in here, but I don't know why that little thing's so far off, but I left this on all the way just so that it wouldn't shut off. I really couldn't tell you if it had shut off or not, because I haven't been in here till I just came back out. I don't think it's cycling. I believe it's staying on by where I have that. So what I'll do is check back in here in like maybe another half hour or hour and just see if it gets up to 60 or 70. I think it probably will. The fact that it went from 30 to 50, and there's a lot of heat coming out. And this thing's adjustable too, this vent. Blowing very hot air out, which is nice. So you can see on my carbon monoxide tester, got 0, which is good. So just gonna go ahead and shut that off. I'll leave this out here just in case. Come back in here. I will check on the fuel gauge now, and I also want to check on the fuel and the amount of electric that the blower is using. So it doesn't look like it moved much, so that's somewhat of a good sign. And we're just going to hit the wattage. So you can see it's using about 177 watts. Okay guys, really good news. So it's 321 and it's 68 inside here, which is great. Actually starting to feel a little too warm. So furnace is definitely capable, more than capable, of keeping this RV nice and toasty. So it may not shut off. I just don't know enough about the thermostat on the wall, but I did dial it back. It's definitely nice and warm in here. Just gonna go ahead and turn the carbon monoxide tester on, let it count down. But while it's doing that, guess what we can do is just take some temperatures here. So here we got 62. Well, I don't even know what that was shooting at, but let's try it up here. 66, 67. Here we got on the metal 66. Over here we got 70.4. That wall's pretty warm. Just shoot it on the wall just out of curiosity, because the outside, that's going to the wall to the outside. So the wall does say 56, but again, that's an exterior wall. Let's check so no carbon monoxide, which is great. Just gonna go ahead and shut this off. What I'll do next is just go head outside and check the fuel tank. Oh, it actually did shut off. So you can hear how quiet it is in here now. So, and again, I don't know. I'd have to use it a few times really to see when that would kick back on. So, if it would get on to 60 and kick back on or whatever. But the great news is, like I said, is it's very comfortable in here. Like I'm standing in here, and I don't have any shoes on, and the floor is definitely cold. Let's see if I can shoot that. So it's 54, very similar to the outside wall that I just shot before. And again, I would not normally be standing here in bare feet. I'd have a pair of shoes on or slippers or something. So some of the windows actually looked, when I first came, looked like they were starting to fog up. Usually that happens when you get excessive moisture in the RV. Like as if I was running a big buddy heater in here or something. But that particular propane heater is actually a propane furnace, so just that was interesting to see. So it almost looks like there is a small amount of moisture that that is coming in here. Which maybe not a bad thing. It won't be so dry, but there's no condensation or anything. Don't know what that would be if I ran it all night or whatever. But again, what we'll do last here, we'll go out and check the temperature gauge. I did check the voltage. It still was at 177 watts. So that appears to be what it uses. I guess the only concern there would be is if I wasn't plugged into an electrical source, that 177 watts, that's 177 watts an hour it would use. So you would have to make sure your batteries were up to par and could run the furnace for however long you needed it run. So what I mean by that is, 200, let's just round it and say 200 watts an hour. So if I wanted to run that for 10 hours, I would need 2,000 watt hours. So my batteries in here, they're definitely not, I don't believe they would run for anything more than 10 hours. So I would either then have to go on the generator, and or plug into an electrical source, or have a battery bank that I could use as well to power that. So that would be one concern, is if you were remote and technically it's a propane furnace, but it does use electricity to run that fan. Okay, and there is the propane usage after a couple hours. You can see the needle actually moved, so definitely is using some propane. But again, that furnace didn't cycle off. I had it on constantly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the valve, make sure that's off, and then wrap up the video.